to the Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Dane Baptiste, Holly Walsh and Rob Beckett, Ed Byrne, Hugh Dennis and James Acaster. We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So what's going on here?
Is he doing an erotic drawing and you can't see, but he's looking at Tom Watson who's posing nude on a bunk bed.
Is he painting Tom Watson like one of his French girls?
It's exactly like one of his French girls. That's a lovely Titanic reference.
Thank you very much. That's good.
Is this the centrefold in this month's Saga magazine?
I like to think Corbyn's going, you thought I'd use a red pen, didn't you? Aha, blue one. Surprise, bitches.
Is the waiter saying to him, you're going to have to order another coffee if you want to keep working here?
Be harsh in a Labour cafe. for staying too long. Sorry, champ, you gotta go.
Is the headline Head of Geography attends Parents' Evening?
I'm imagining how the Sun would put a caption in this photograph. It would be like, Madman Corbyn defaces innocent book.
I think I understand why they're in trouble now, because I think this is a page from the BHS menswear catalogue.
Why is Corbyn looking over the top of glasses? You're supposed to look through them. Crazy Corbyn doesn't understand how glasses work.
It looks like he's in the canteen and he's heard Ed Miliband order another bacon sandwich.
Vain Corbyn appears in photograph where he is in focus, but background is blurred.
Those glasses, though, they are not flattering. All they do is highlight the bags. That's so sad.
I do think Corbyn has the look of a man who's just been asked to sign a birthday card for somebody in the office and he can't remember who they are. And he wants to, it's like in his face, he wants to say, is that Fat Janice? But he doesn't want to say that.
Does anyone know what the correct answer is of this, for why this picture would be there?
Well, it's in the news this week because of the Euro referendum.
Of course, absolutely. Thank you very much, Hugh. Well done. This is a recent picture of Jeremy Corbyn, who is in the news this week because he's agreed to lead a stepped-up campaign for Britain to remain in the EU. And boy, isn't he doing it in the most half-hearted possible fashion. What he thought, I mean, out of 10, how big are you to? 7 to 7.5, he said. That's the one. That's full-blooded.
7.5, that's about 75%, which is good. Like, if that came from, like, if you're doing an exam, 75% is good.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, and if you were asking a pilot about his success rate, then...
I've done 3 today. I'm on me limit and I'm tired. Anyway, starters up in.
Did he say he's not a big fan of the EU, though? He said he's not a big fan of the EU.
No.
No.
But
I reckon he's got socks and sandals written all over him. He don't like the heat. He knows if I have to go abroad, it's going to be shorts.
So his objection to the common market and the European economic project of integration is it's a bit hot.
Yeah. He's got a beard and he wears tweed. It's not built for him, Europe. He looks like, judging by the picture, he's the person that always has to work out, like, how much the tapas cost and who had what.
Yeah.
He's trying to split a bill there, doesn't he?
Yeah. You had 4 of the prawns. We only brought 6 of them, for God's sake.
That's actually, I think, one of the most annoying things about people who split bills. You know, when they sit down at the end and then they're like, oh, but I didn't, you know, like, I didn't have alcohol, you know, and then you're like, yeah, but you had a Coke and a pudding, and they're like, but I'm 5.
It's not just Corbyn, though, is it? It's because Brexit are now ahead of Remain by quite a long way, in fact. They're worried about the Labour heartland voting for Brexit, so they're wheeling out all the Labour kind of bigwigs, aren't they? So they're doing a double substitution this week. They're getting rid of Cameron and Osborne and have replaced them with that all-winning side of Miliband and Brown.
If the Brexit is a draw, does it go to penalties or is it another one?
I think at the minute the whole thing's even more confusing than it has been. That's why all this is going... The whole in and out thing, I think everyone's finding it difficult.
Yeah.
In and out is a very hard decision. It's like the other day, my flatmate was making me a peppermint tea and he said, would you like the bag leaving in or taken out? And it's very hard because if you leave the bag in, and over time, the cup of tea itself as a whole will get stronger. And it might appear like the bag is getting weaker, but it's now part of a stronger cup of tea. Whereas, if you take the bag out, the tea's now quite weak, and the bag itself goes directly in the bin.
That may be the smartest thing anyone has said in the last 2 months.
If we do leave, will I need a passport for Pret a Manger? I'll be honest with you, I've only just got used to saying baguette. I'm going to have to go back to French stick, aren't I?
You won't be able to use the word French.
Can't you? So just have a stick. It's
Yeah.
been terrible. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it is tough, isn't it?
The name thing is right, though, isn't it? I quite often think it's just the EU has got such a bad name. The only way it could have a worse name is if it changed its name to Top Gear. That's yeah, but I do also think that for the Remain campaign, that might be the answer, because they could just convince the EU to change its name to Sir David Attenborough. And everybody would love it.
I don't want to remain in Sir David Attenborough.
Come on. You'd be lucky to get in there in the first place, Ben, right? Just say, national treasure.
And he may be an old institution, but you can change him from within. I think for a laugh, just to confuse everyone, what we should do is let's all agree to vote Remain, but then at the next general election, let's all vote UKIP.
It is worrying, though, because if we do vote out, it's quite likely that Scotland will want another referendum.
Yes.
So for England...
Yeah, particularly.
Well, the consequence of that, of course, is that for England it's Brexit, but for the United Kingdom it's Fuxit.
If it was just England leaving the EU, would it just be called Exit?
For me, the confusion with the celebrities is that I saw that Katie Hopkins was, and this will surprise you, she wants to leave. She wants to leave the EU, Katie Hopkins. So I was like, great, that's my mind made up, I'm definitely staying. And then I found out Clarkson is voting for Remain. And personally, for me, Hopkins-Clarkson is a harder decision than in or out.
What's the deal with you staying here? If
Oh no! See, I'm here. I'm allowed to stay here under on a pre-existing Irish English thing that goes back to the like.
Oh, don't get involved in that, mate.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Just
We said Steve's allowed to stay here. It's just him.
Yeah.
It's just an arrangement. I don't come under the same convention.
He's got to do a written exam next week.
In the 20s, there's a letter delivered to the British government saying, "In time, there will come one. One will arrive." And when the one comes, you must give him a platform that befits the gravity of his message.
You're basically Neo.
Yeah, I'm a Neo, but you know, I'm not good with computers. And I feel like I'm going to have to move on. Trust me, this is a topic we may return to over the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Big thanks, by the way, to everyone watching the show last week who spotted a fly land on my head in the middle of the show, which a lot of people sent me on Twitter. To Twitter, you know, in the way it does. Lots of people I'm laughing at a comment that you're making, Hugh. Ha 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 ha! When a fly lands on my head, and that's all I've heard of the entire show. Literally, no joke was noticed by anyone other than people trying to screen grab that to send it to me.
Why did you not? What has happened to your central nervous system
So
such that you were unaware that a fly had landed on your
Because
head?
it was a fly, Hugh, rather than it wasn't like a gazelle sat in my head.
For a moment, you go, it's going back.
I think you look sweet with that. I
It's like a
think you
tiny
keep it.
top knot.
Yeah.
I'm still down with the kids.
Yeah, I'm Zlatan.
I think it's more reminiscent of a little bird on the back of a hippo. Hey, if you really scale it up, though, you know.
Do you think I am in a symbiotic relationship? The fly cleans me.
Yeah.
And in exchange, I don't kill or eat the
I
fly.
like to think that if you zoom in on the fly, it's also going... You're both laughing at the same time. There's a little fly
And
there.
if you zoom in really, really close, there's a little bacteria on top of the fly going.
There's a happy chain.
At the end of that round, the points go to Rob, Holly and Dave. Now we play a round called Everything I Do It for EU. This game involves Rob and James, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. Okay, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is going out. Rob.
I like going out and getting drunk. It's fun, isn't it? I got so drunk the other week. It was the most hungover I've ever been. In the morning, I bought McDonald's breakfast and ate it in a queue for a Greggs. And I still don't know if I'm ashamed or proud. I don't like tequila, though. I don't like doing shots. It annoys me with tequila. It's too much admin, isn't it? So I'll lick a bit of salt, eat a lemon. What are you doing that for? It makes it taste nicer. It's not fish and chips, is it? So it's all, no one looks like they're enjoying it. Everyone looks panicked, don't they? They're always like, oh, thank God for the salt and lemon. They're loving it, aren't they? Do you know what make a tequila nicer? Do a tequila, then have a Cadbury's cream egg. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Take the taste out of your mouth. The thing is as well, though, it's like I can't properly get on it now. I'm like a bit older. I'm not saying I'm too old to get drunk. But when I was 18, you don't care, do you? You get battered. Just get on with it, right? Because hangovers, they say hangovers get worse. They don't, do they? You just have more shit to do when you're older. That's the problem. When I was 18 on a night out, I'd be getting on it. Someone might go, do you want some drugs? I'm like, oh, I don't know. How'd it affect me? Well, my mum think, oh, my God, drugs. Now, if I'm on a night out, so I'm like, do you want some drugs? Can't, mate. Got to paint a fence tomorrow. I don't want to be painting a fence all sad. All hot, sweaty and vulnerable, like, oh. I was really looking forward to painting this fence last night. Told everyone about it. I'm so hot, sweaty and sad. I'm more likely to keep hold of the drugs, do them in the morning before the fence, just smash it like that. I'll do the roof, let's do the roof. We got no ladder. I'm flying, Mum.
Thank you very much, Rob. Okay, that leaves with James. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And it's food and drink.
I'm not like Rob. I don't like going out and getting drunk. I like staying in. I drink on my own. What do you call them, man? I lock the door, I get myself a glass of punch. Is that weird? I drink punch on my own. Is that strange? I drink it from a big punch bowl with a ladle in it in the corner of my bedroom. Is that weird? I don't know what other people do. People are always worried about punch getting spiked. Solo punch, problem solved. Not going to spike myself, unless it's Fun Time Thursdays. Tried going out with some mates recently. We hit the town. I'm a prankster when I'm out with my friends. One of them left me alone with his pint while he went to the toilet. Big mistake. It's a classic prank. Always do this if someone leaves me alone with their pint. I went round the bar using his pint to propose toasts with. Deliberately proposing toasts to things I knew he disagreed with. He comes back, has a sip. What you done with that? I'm like, ha. You just drank to the service charge, been included in the bill. You just drank to those bedside lamps that don't have the switch on the cord like is convenient, but have it on the neck of the lamp under the bulb. It's like a bolt you have to somehow slide across, and you can't even reach it like that. You get your whole hand up inside the lampshade, and it hurts. It's really awkward. You can't even see it. You got to look at the top of the lampshade to see what you're doing. And you turn it on and it blinds you. You just drank to those lamps. You love those lamps.
Thank you very much. Points of emoji there. Come on. Very good. Thank you very much. Our next round of call is This Is the Answer. What is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Dane, which category would you like?
I'll take sport, please.
Sport, okay.
Yes.
Your category is sport. The answer is 24. What is the question?
What's my age when it comes to young person's rail cards forever?
That's not the correct answer, but it's a good scheme.
The number of people Jesus could have sat at the Last Supper if he'd used both sides of the table.
Very good point.
Is it according to Nigel Farage, how many of the Turkish population will be living in Turkey in 2020?
Is it how many English hooligans you need to take down one Russian ultra?
Is it, once the initial novelty has worn off, how many times a day does the average person regret buying that cuckoo clock?
Is porn films think you're a MILF?
How many dance troupes was I kicked out of for being too edgy?
How many more movies are left in the Fast and Furious franchise?
After what age is life just an increasingly speedy descent into despair?
When an English person and a European person share an advent calendar, how many chocolates does the English person think they deserve?
Is it, on average, how many hours sleep do you get every night when you're dead?
It's not that. No, it's not that. No.
This one's about football, isn't it? Is it how many teams are in the Euros?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
please.
Very good. Yes, the question I was looking for is how many countries are competing in the UEFA European Championships in France this summer, making it the biggest in the tournament's history. 3 games a day at the moment. Enjoying it? Are we enjoying it?
Oh, God.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
man.
Yeah.
It's been good.
By the way, this is going out, as you know, I know that we don't want to ruin the magic
Okay.
of this, that people don't want to know that it's recorded on Tuesday and then goes out on Thursday. But of course, this afternoon's game between England and Wales, we'd love to
What a game
respond
that
to
was.
that.
I think football was the winner, wasn't it?
No, maybe not. We don't know.
No.
That's even... we can't even say that. There may have actually been a winner, and therefore what you've just said makes no sense. What do we
I think
do?
the consensus was... He's not that far off. Did you see Rio Ferdinand in the England game, the first England game? He went, well, there were a lot, there were a lot of expectations going into this game, but you would expect that.
Are there too many teams in it? Is it too big? Is it going on too long? Are there too many?
I love it. I love this. I don't like England being in it because it's just stressful, isn't it? It's like a bad relationship, and you think it's going to get better. Oh, it's changed. It's going to be good this time. Your friends go, no, it's not. But it is. But it's always the same as like a bad relationship. You just end up in tears at a barbecue.
I hope Leicester win.
So, yeah, who are England players babysitting throughout the tournament?
Wayne Rooney.
Oh, it's this tiny lion, isn't it? No, is that a lion?
It's a lion. They've a fluffy lion called
It's a
Leo.
fluffy lion. They have to carry it around like they're on a stag do, and one of them's at all times got to have the lion on them.
Well, they keep in the papers. They keep going. The toy lion. They're carrying the toy lion. I don't think they need to put toy lion. We know it's a toy. It's not like they're going, injury update. Rooney's pulled his calf and Danny Rose has been mauled to death by the lion.
I think it's sweet, because the last thing that got passed around the England football team was a prostitute, so...
Well, we've not seen the back end of that lion, so we don't know what's happening. Sorry, toy lion.
In other news, who celebrated their 90th birthday last weekend?
About 400 people, probably.
Yeah, loads of them. I mean, odds are...
Was it Bruce Forsyth's daughter?
He is old.
It was, of course, Her Majesty the Queen.
Yes, it is. It's this lady here.
Oh, my God.
Did anyone watch the celebrations?
At one point on that day, my 5-year-old sang God Save the Queen to me.
Oh, my Lord.
That's created mixed emotions for an Irish atheist.
I watched a little bit of it. It's very, very British, isn't it? It cost 150 quid a head to go to this picnic in the Mall, and you got a pork pie, you got a pack-a-mack. It's full of people going, do you know what? The EU is such a waste of money.
I read a quote someone said, and they said, what could be more British than standing in the rain wearing a poncho? And I thought, well, that's pretty Peruvian.
Oh, soon the Queen will be here.
I'm not that against the Queen and the Royal Family, but I'm against people that love the Queen and the Royal Family.
Yeah.
I mean, when I see someone in a Union Jack pack-a-mack, fuck off.
Well, you've got to understand, these people have a very dear relationship with the Queen, and it's very personal to them. So they line the streets and she waves at them.
Yeah.
To celebrate all the times in the past when they've lined the streets and she's waved at them.
It's so weird, isn't it? They take the number plate. They don't have a number plate on those cars, so you don't know whose they are. And then she's just sticking out of the top of it.
Because if you had her number plates, you might be able to trace her address.
Okay, what's going on here?
It looks like he's dropped his hat down a hole and he's looking for it.
Is this worst skydive ever?
Is he saying, ooh, I can hear the Victoria line?
Prince Charles poisons the wrong person.
Damn, I was aiming at Mother.
He just died of embarrassment because he turned up in the same thing.
Do you know what actually is?
A bloke has got his cock stuck in a drain.
Yeah. He's fronting it out, though, isn't he? He's fronting it out. You guys carry on with your manoeuvres. I'll be doing this.
He's misunderstood the phrase manhole.
Skis on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of the guards in the household division who fainted during the troop of the colour ceremony. Yes, it happens all the time, apparently. That is the moment of kaboom.
And these are guards that don't move. So how do we know that they haven't all fallen over and that maybe the ground has come up and he just stayed there? And everybody else was like, earthquake, and he was like, I've got a duty.
That's the problem with photos, isn't it, Dane? Because you don't know what's happening, do you?
Do you ever think that the actual people who guard the Queen, the actual, like the Secret Service guys whose job actually is to guard the Queen, do you think they watch this and just think, you bunch of silly tarts?
But from what? It's not like, you know, she's constantly getting
Just music for humorous effect. To be honest with you,
The Queen is going...
seriously.
Yeah, I don't know, the Queen is constantly going, right, let's go for a rumble. Oh, not again, Your Majesty. All right, everybody to ninja formation.
Are you saying because the Queen doesn't go around starting fist fights, that therefore the people who guard her, it's a piss easy job?
Yes.
They actually give...
We're all capable of doing this, but they never have to do it because the Queen doesn't go down to Wetherspoons and go, doink, oh, hello. Is that a problem?
No, but Philip probably does a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, at the end of that round, the points go to Ed, Hugh and Jay. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and we'll see what our panelists can come up with. Okay, here we go. The first subject is unlikely letters to TV channels.
Dear National Geographic Channel, when will the Nazis be building some more megastructures? I can't wait for Series 2.
Dear Boomerang TV, why does my letter keep coming back?
Dear Dave, you repeat Mock the Week so often, I swear I've seen Holly Walsh do this joke before.
Dear Babe Station, when are you actually going to show the film Babe?
Dear Top Gear, your show has nothing to do with cocaine.
Dear ITV2, is it possible to actually contract an STD just from watching Geordie Shore?
Dear Netflix, I am so disappointed by how much buffering happens on...
Dear History Channel, I really enjoyed your documentary about what panel shows were like 15 years ago. Oh, no, wait, no, I'm watching Dave.
Dear CBeebies, I have 3 BBs, and my BBs love to watch CBeebies. From their Dee Dee.
Dear History Channel, the past is the past, mate. You got to let it go.
Dear BBC, your documentary on binge drinking really ruined my pre-drinks.
Dear Dave, you repeat Mock the Week so often. I swear I've already seen Holly do this joke.
Dear Al Jazeera, why no music from the jazz era?
Dear Babe Station, what are you doing to mark the forthcoming centenary of women's suffrage?
Dear Al Jazeera, I wonder if we're related. Yours, Dave Jazeera.
Okay, the next topic is Things you wouldn't hear in a blockbuster movie.
Tell me more, did you get... Actually, don't tell us, because we at the T-Birds don't do slut shaming.
Have you seen? Spider-Man, he's been shot to pieces. He's all over the web.
We have to save the president. Or, depending on how the election goes, we have to save everybody from the president.
Yo, Adrian! Sorry, I thought you were Adrian.
Batman versus Superman. Late kickoff.
Hey, Optimus Prime, how about transforming this box of shit into a decent script?
Oh, look, several women in their 50s.
But my children are stuck in there with a monster. We have to go back, and you know what? Fuck them.
He's already beaten Superman. Now it's time for his toughest challenge. Batman versus Rain Man.
I'll be back, and if you're not in this time, you'll have to pick it up from the depot.
It's good news and bad news, Captain. We can't find Spock, but we have found Nemo, and someone thinks they spotted Private Ryan.
You're struggling with those chopsticks? Use a fork, Luke.
I'm Freddy. Welcome to Elm Street. The nightmare? Trying to find affordable housing. Mwah!
I will kill Bill. Or, depending on what it goes by, Killiam William.
I'm sorry, James. We have to include the international dialing code. You are now 00447.
I'm not going to sponsor you on another 5K run, Forrest.
The X stands for xylophone, and the xylophone men don't take shit from nobody.
And the points go to Ed, your day. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Ed Byrne, Hugh Dennis and James A. Carter. Commiserations to Dane Baptiste, Holly Walsh and Rob Beckett. Thanks for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.